and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's debate. My name is Alia Jarrett and I am the chairman, and Josie McKenna is the timekeeper. This debate will be judged by a panel of 3 adjudicators, who are Miss Butterfield, Miss Lowen and Mr Wood. The topic of this debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. The affirmative team seated to my right is from St Catherine's School, and the negative team seated to my left is Pembroke School. The speaking time for this debate is 3 minutes, with a double bell at the end of your speaking time. A warning bell will ring once at 2 minutes, and a continuous bell will ring 30 seconds after the final bell. Please switch off your mobile phones and other electronic devices. I declare this debate open. I call upon the first affirmative speaker, Mia Rody.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the affirmative team, believe that statement is undeniably true. We define the topic as Halloween, the 31st of October, the eve of All Saints' Day, a Christian holiday that honours those who have died, and often celebrated by children dressing up in frightening masks and costumes. Should used to indicate obligation, duty, or correctness, typically when criticising someone's actions. Public holiday, an official day of work and school recognised by the Australian government, with higher rates paid to those who have work. Australia, an island country and continent in the southern hemisphere in the southwestern Pacific Ocean, and a member state of the Commonwealth Nations. Today, as first speaker, I'll be talking to you about how Halloween should be a public holiday so families can rest, it strengthens community bonds and improves safety. Our second speaker will be talking about how making Halloween a public holiday reflects Australia's multicultural identity and promotes inclusive celebration. Our third speaker will rebut and summarise our team case. My first point is that Halloween should be a public holiday so families can rest and enjoy the celebration. According to the Black Dog Institute, a leading Australian mental health research organisation, race days help decrease stress, improve mood and support better decision making. Right now, Halloween is on a school or work night, making it hard for families to participate. A public holiday would allow children to celebrate without being tired for school and adults to enjoy the evening without work stress. The Black Dog Institute's research highlights that proper rest isn't just helpful, it's essential for our mental well-being. On top of which, those who have work are compensated. This proves Halloween should become a public holiday in Australia. Now to my second point, that making Halloween a public holiday improves safety. When people have the day off, they can attend local events and supervise children. An ABC News report, Halloween Popularity on the Rise Across Australia, by Audrey Corty. In 2022, states some Australian suburbs see over 400 trick-or-treaters in one night, requiring road closures for safety. A public holiday helps communities better organise these events and keep kids safe. This shows large participation is already happening, and a public holiday would make it safer and more enjoyable for everyone. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, as ABC News reports, communities around Australia already celebrate Halloween and families deserve safety, rest and to enjoy this day as a recognised Australian public holiday. Thank you.
I call upon the first negative speaker, Clara Millett.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for tonight's debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the negative team, strongly believe this statement to be false. We disagree with the definition given by the affirmative team. They've treated a public holiday as if it is simply a day where people don't go to school and work for any popular event. However, a public holiday is much more than that. A student advisory explains that public holidays are a chance to pause and reflect on important people or events in our history. For example, Anzac Day honours those who sacrificed their lives in war. These are days with deeper cultural and historical meaning. So, by definition, a public holiday must hold national significance. Halloween does not. It is a commercial event imported from overseas with no historical or cultural ties to Australia. As first speaker, I'll explain why Halloween has no real place in Australian culture and why there's no need to make it a public holiday. Our second speaker will show why public holidays should reflect who we are as a nation and how making Halloween one could seriously affect the economy. Our third speaker will rebut and sum up our team case. The first affirmative speaker said that Halloween brings communities together. This is wrong because for many Australians, Halloween creates discomfort and even fear. Sydney criminal lawyers note that crime rates actually spike on Halloween, and for elderly Australians, a stream of strangers knocking late at night is distressing, not community spirit. If governments were to act, it should be to regulate the event for safety, not reward it with a holiday. I will be discussing 2 points. My first point is that Halloween has no cultural or historical relevance to Australia. Public holidays should honour events that shape our identity, like Anzac Day and Reconciliation Day. These reflect who we are as a nation. Halloween doesn't. According to a 2023 YouGov survey, only 14% of Australians think Halloween is important. Nearly 9 out of 10 don't. So why close schools and workplaces for something most people don't value? Yes, Halloween is in shops and on social media, but that's driven by advertising, not cultural meaning. It doesn't bring people together like true public holidays. Instead of borrowing holidays, let's honour the ones that tell Australia's story. My second point is that there's no practical reason to make Halloween a public holiday. Halloween is an evening event. Trick-or-treating happens after school and parties are held at night. People already celebrate it in their own time, just like birthdays or sports games. There's no need for a full day off. Even the United States, where Halloween is most popular, and Statista reports 73% of people celebrate it in 2023, yet it's not a public holiday. If the country that celebrates it the most doesn't close schools or work, why should we? And here's a big issue. If we turn fun or commercial events into holidays, where does it end? Should Valentine's Day be a public holiday because people buy flowers? Public holidays should be reserved for events that bring national meaning, not just entertainment or marketing. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, Halloween should absolutely not become a public holiday in Australia. Thank you.
Call upon the second affirmative speaker, Kian Tennefield.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate today is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the affirmative team, believe that this proposal is not just sensible, but it's a reflection of the values modern Australians stand for. The negative team has argued that Halloween doesn't fit our multicultural society, but research shows that Australians are actively reshaping Halloween to reflect their diverse cultures and values. According to Square Hole's cultural research, Australian values create community and inclusivity, and Halloween is increasingly used to express these values. In the Adelaide Hills, Halloween events include bushwalks, native animal crafts and eco-friendly decorations, blending local traditions with global ones. Rather than being irrelevant, Halloween is becoming a platform for cultural expression, where communities celebrate in ways that reflect who they are. This proves that Halloween is not a culturally relevant, it's a celebration that reflects Australia's evolving identity. Our first speaker has clearly shown how Halloween supports families and communities by improving well-being and making celebrations safer and more accessible. I will now explore our third argument, how making Halloween a public holiday reflects Australia's multicultural identity and how it promotes inclusive celebration. Australia is one of the most multicultural nations on earth. According to the 2021 census, 29% of Australians were born overseas, 51% of Australians have at least one parent born overseas, and 22% of Australians speak another language than English at home. Despite this diversity, most of our public holidays still reflect Western Christian traditions, like Christmas, Easter, and the King's birthday. The census also highlighted that almost 40% of Australians do not associate with any religion, yet secular or non-religious and culturally diverse events are rarely recognised. Halloween is a secular, inclusive celebration. Unlike religious or political holidays, it welcomes people of all ages and backgrounds. It fosters creativity, connection, and community spirit. This is why our third argument stands strong. Making Halloween a public holiday would reflect Australia's multicultural identity and promote inclusive-led celebration. So, Madam Chairman, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, by recognising Halloween as a public holiday, we embrace a modern, inclusive approach to national celebrations, one that speaks to all Australians. Thank you.
I call upon the second negative speaker, James Cosmos.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the negative team, believe this statement is undeniably false. The first speaker from the affirmative team has tried to tell you that a Halloween holiday would benefit children. This is incorrect, because public holidays disrupt school schedules, reduce classroom learning time, and lower outcomes. The Productivity Commission and OECD both highlight that Australian students are slipping in global rankings. And adding another unnecessary holiday only makes the problem even worse. If we want to help our children, we should be protecting them for their education, not cutting it into for an important evening event. The first speaker from the affirmative team has also tried to tell you that having a public holiday would give families a chance to rest and prepare, since it's a busy evening. This is wrong, because Australia already has its fair shares of rest days. The Australian Chamber of Commerce reports that we have over 10 public holidays each year, not including annual leaves or school holidays, adding another couple of days. Give families rest. It would reduce productivity, increase stress for businesses, and unfairly prioritise one evening events over countless ages of others. Families already manage birthdays, sporting carnivals, and cultural events, with the need for new public holidays. Our first speaker has shown you that Halloween has no cultural or historical relevance to Australia. She also explained that there's no need for a public holiday. It's an evening event, and even in America, it's not a public holiday. Today, I will be discussing 2 points. My first point is that declaring Halloween a public holiday would severely disrupt the nation's economy. ABC reports that each public holiday costs Australia $2 billion in lost productivity of genuine national significance. Halloween is not one of them. Right now, 1 in 3 Australian households struggle to afford essentials like food. For these families, missing even a single day of wages can mean the difference between feeding their children or going without. While holidays can offer rest and reflection, it would also bring real economic consequences. A Halloween public holiday would only increase financial stress to vulnerable Australians and threaten small businesses. Now to my second point. Public holidays are not just random days off. They exist to mark events that shape who we are as a nation. A Tune advisory makes this clear. as public holidays are a chance to pause and reflect on important people or events in Australia's collective history. Public holidays should be uniquely Australian moments. Halloween, however, has no such connection. Britannica confirms this, as it began as the ancient Celtic festival marking the Celtic New Year. While this may be fascinating history, it's not our history. We already have a New Year celebration. Why would we need two? So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, first speaker Clara and I have both stated strong and clear points in why Halloween should not be a public holiday in Australia. Thank you.
I call upon the third affirmative speaker, Max Oliver.
Good evening, Madam Chairperson, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the affirmative team, believe that this statement is undoubtedly true. The negative team has tried to tell you Halloween isn't even Australian and Halloween has no relevance in Australia. That might have been true once, but not anymore. As our second speaker said, today we're proudly multicultural. Halloween's Celtic roots came with Irish and Scottish migrants to Australia. According to the 2021 census by the ABS, over 48% of Australians are born overseas or have one parent who was. Halloween reflects modern Australia, diverse, connected and global. A public holiday would simply recognise who we already are. The negative team has also tried to tell you that a public holiday on Halloween would impact the economy. This argument doesn't hold up. Spending actually rises on public holidays. Halloween already drives huge sales, costumes, treats, events, with a 25% annual growth over the past 5 years, according to the Australian Retailers Association. A Halloween holiday wouldn't hurt the economy, it would actually boost it, especially for small businesses and local events. It creates new opportunities, not costs. Now to my summary. Our first speaker, Mia, explained that making Halloween a public holiday supports mental health. The Black Dog Institute says rest days reduce stress. Australians miss out when Halloween falls on a work or school night. She also showed how a public holiday would boost safety. Some suburbs see over 400 trick-or-treaters, so many that roads are closed, according to ABC News. A day off lets parents supervise, not scramble home from work, and helps communities plan safer, more enjoyable events. Halloween is already huge. Let's give it the day off it deserves. Our second speaker, Kian, told you Australia is proudly multicultural and diverse. 29% of us were born overseas, and nearly 40% of Australians do not associate with any religion, according to the 2021 census. Yet most public holidays still centre around Western or Christian traditions. He also showed you that Halloween is an inclusive celebration, focused on creativity, community and connection. According to Dr. Paul Harrison from Deakin University, Halloween is more than just costumes. It brings people together. It's time Australia recognises inclusive, non-religious celebrations. Halloween isn't just fun, it's a reflection of who we are. Let's make it a public holiday. So, Madam Chairperson, adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, I leave you with this. If we already celebrate Halloween in our homes, schools and streets, why not celebrate it as a nation? Our whole team has shown the benefits: improved well-being, greater safety and cultural inclusion. Halloween brings people together. It's fun, meaningful and already part of our lives. So let's stop treating it as a side event. Let's make Halloween a public holiday in Australia. Thank you.
I call upon the third negative speaker, Anna Malik.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. The topic for our debate is that Halloween should be a public holiday in Australia. We, the negative team, believe this statement to be undeniably false. The first speaker from the affirmative team has tried to tell you that Halloween boosts happiness and well-being. This is incorrect as it's misleading. Mental health experts, including Beyond Blue, report that envelops involving financial pressure and social expectations can actually increase stress and anxiety. Costumes, decorations, and peer pressure to spend money can make families feel excluded or even overwhelmed, not supported. If well-being is the goal, Australia would be better off strengthening existing inclusive community events and not creating a stressful and costly new public holiday. The second speaker from the affirmative team has tried to tell you that Halloween should be a public holiday because it promotes inclusivity. This is wrong because Halloween actually excludes more people than it includes. Many families cannot afford costumes, decorations, or bags of lollies for trick-or-treaters. According to Choice Australia, the average family spends close to around $90 per child on costumes. For households already under financial pressure, this is not inclusive, it is isolating. Real community spirit comes from events that everyone can join freely, not ones that rely on spending money. The affirmative team has also tried to tell you that Halloween is good for the economy. Yes, Australians spend money, around $450 million each year on costumes, lollies, and decorations, with an average spend of $93 per person. But this is nothing compared to the economic damage of declaring a public holiday. The ABC has also reported that each public holiday costs the Australian economy $2 billion in lost productivity. Our first speaker spoke to you about how Halloween has no cultural or historical relevance to Australia. Public holidays should reflect important national events like Anzac Day and not imported traditions. She also spoke to you about how there is no practical need for a Halloween holiday. It occurs at night, and even in the US, schools and businesses stay open. Our second speaker spoke to you about how Australians, especially the elderly and parents of young children, Sydney criminal lawyers know crime spikes on Halloween. He also spoke to you about how declaring Halloween a public holiday would be economically harmful. The ABC reports each public holiday costs $2 billion, which would hurt struggling families and small businesses. So, Madam Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the negative team has showed you that Halloween is not widely celebrated. It has no cultural or historical relevance to Australia. Thank you.